Hey y'all, Jeremy from the Archershack. We just came back from the Total Archery Challenge Southeast, the one in Tennessee, Belvidere, Tennessee to be exact. All 5 of us, plus a guy named the Sea Otter went, who's still at work. But we got John Partain, TJ Ritchie, I'm Jeremy Cheek, Russ Armstrong, and the wonderful Kyle McNeil. We wanted to tell y'all some tips and tricks because we didn't know anything going into this. For maybe it'll help you out on some future shoots. So let's talk about preparing for the shoot. How many arrows did y'all take?
I took 18 arrows myself. Did not know what to expect. I've heard a lot about the angles and things like that. So I went ahead and had 18 that I took with me. But
I think I took 22. Just, you never know because we've never done this before. You've probably got friends that shot some in different parts. I know there's one in Vermont coming up this week, but for us with the extreme shot angles and the distance we were shooting at, I tried to take 2 dozen.
I took 247. I'm just kidding. I took about a dozen and I ended up losing 2, so I was happy with that. But I took a dozen with me.
I took 21.
21.
And brought back 2.
My Little Pony wraps.
Yep. How many did you take?
I mean, I leave 23. I took 22 and needed every single one of them.
So we had a few casualties here. Here's one of the My Little Pony arrows from
That's
Russ.
an awesome arrow, dude.
I know it. We had a few casualties. But for the most part, we didn't lose near as many as we thought. There's a couple misses here and there, a couple rocks hit and stuff like that. But it wasn't that bad.
No, the arrows we messed up, we can always cut down and give them to Russ for his crossbow. And so he came back with a few more arrows than all of us.
You're out of the wheel.
The targets were Reinhardt targets. I felt like we shot a lot of rams.
Yeah.
We shot a lot of rams. There was a lot of cats. I remember shooting a lot of cats.
House cats.
well, we weren't on the western range.
There were a lot of hybrid deer, that white-tailed body and mule deer ears and mule deer antlers.
Yeah.
They were going with a western theme, that's for sure.
So this was the first year they had knock times for our shoot over this way, and we registered for it. But we were a little surprised there was no booth or anything for us to check in. You just walk on the range. So if you registered for a 9 o'clock knock time and wanted to start at 7:30, I don't believe nobody would have been there to stop you. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I think it kept a little bit of order together, but there wasn't anybody there to check you in.
For the most part, I feel like everybody was abiding by that as well.
Yeah.
The people were coming in when they were supposed to. It's kind of like the honor system,
And as far as like the wait time, we had 6 of us. We were only supposed to shoot with 5. Nobody stopped us, which was good. And we did some video stuff. So we let the quicker groups come by us, which I think was the right thing to do. But the second day, we waited a little while on a big group, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as I had anticipated. What'd y'all think?
I think the climb out of there was worth waiting. That we had to wait.
How far y'all? Well, on my phone it said the first day on the Sitka course, we walked, what was it, like 8 miles?
Yeah, it was about 8 miles.
And the second day on the prime course was like 6. So it was a lot of walking. I was prepared for that.
The locals course was probably about 4 that we did also on Saturday, while some people went back than that.
So the courses, let's tell y'all about the courses. The locals course is the easy one. It's like the shorter distances, the easy course.
It was a cool down course.
The prime course is long shots, but not as bad as Sitka on the walking. The Sitka course that we did the first day was like, we climbed up a mountain. I'm talking about like straight up a mountain. My man Kyle over here was like a billy goat. He was on all 4s going to retrieve arrows. And for that, we are much appreciative. But we didn't shoot the mountain ops course. We heard it was a lot of walking, a lot of hills, mostly retrieving arrows. But there was some cool scenery on the Sitka course. Some waterfalls, a big old mountain or 2, a lot of mud. But we kind of were prepared for it.
Ropes. There was ropes.
We had to pull ourselves up with ropes up a mountain. We almost lost the sea otter. Y'all see it in my other videos. But the man barely made it up the mountain. Y'all pray for her.
I was struggling myself.
Me too.
I ain't gonna lie to you. It's some pretty rough terrain. But it's manageable. You know, where there was a lot of folks out there that was in a whole lot worse shape than I am, and they were able to somehow or another make it through there. Well, there was a couple folks we saw along the way, and you just wanted to stop and scratch your head a minute. So
there were some pretty large archers on the course, and they made it.
If you wanting to do
It was
it,
mental. It was
if
a
you
mental
wanting to do
game.
it, go do it. Don't not go.
There was nothing I think that we went through that would ever keep us from wanting to go back and do it again or go to another course. I don't think.
No.
No.
We wouldn't.
It was rough, but like I felt better about making it through it. But I don't know that we came across anything as bad as it was that we went through that would cause us to say, man, we ain't going back and doing
We
that.
didn't get snake bit. We didn't fall from a mountain.
We did see a snake.
I did fall down the mountain.
Well,
Park
and from what we're told, this one here is one of the toughest ones out of any of them in any state, because the ones out west or farther up north, you ride a sky lift all the way up, and then you work your way back down the mountain. So you may go over some hills and stuff.
We have no idea what those are like. We're just
Yeah.
talking about the one in Tennessee, so we didn't have a chairlift. We had to walk.
Oh yeah.
And I think the good thing with knock times that, especially on the Sitka course, since it is the hardest one, it spreads the groups out. So like, if you get to the mountain like we did, and you had to take a break, it's not like that you had a group of people right behind you trying to push you up the mountain. I mean, we could have stopped and took probably a 10, 15-minute break if we wanted to, and there was nobody there. So knock times are good as far as that. It just kind of spread the groups out.
Let's tell them what they need to take with them.
Yeah.
Well,
What do you think?
you know, I decided to take my chair, my spider shot. I guess that's a cottonwood.
It's a chair. It's a chair for tournament archery, not really for climbing mountains. And we were on the border of taking them or not. They got arrow tubes in the side of them, a little cooler on the back, a pouch, and it's a chair you sit in. Ultimately, we were glad we took them.
Absolutely.
The other boys took a backpack, and that was a good idea too. They just had to sit on the ground.
But
Yeah.
boy, that ground felt good after hiking up a
You-
mountain.
yeah,
But
you-
I will
yeah.
tell you though, for you guys out there that have the tournament chairs, at no point during the hiking or climbing or anything we did that chair inhibit me from going where I wanted to go or doing what I wanted to do.
I agree.
That chair was not an issue. Actually, like Jeremy said, I was tickled that I had it several times.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I'd recommend at least a dozen arrows just to be safe. You don't
Yeah.
want to get in the middle of this thing and lose them all.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you will. Practice. We didn't practice much, but we practiced a little couple shots at 100 before we left just to make sure we was on. You know.
had a good sight take.
Yeah.
It didn't help me.
I mean, I recommend a dozen, 2 dozen arrows with you, but I don't think next time I'll carry more than about 6 or 8 on the course.
Yeah.
I mean, I carried a 22, 23 arrows.
I mean, we had Badlands packs, and not knowing we had snacks and 2 or 3 full bottles of water.
We'll go touch base.
Everybody
on the
had
water here in a
range
minute.
finders. Everybody had binoculars. Everybody had extra releases, which is, I think some of that needed to go. Some of it didn't, but I think we were kind of shooting a squirrel with buckshot because we didn't know what to expect
Right.
on that first day. But like, I'm glad I took a Badlands pack.
I am
The
too.
the air tube strapped straight in. It's like Kyle said. No, we didn't have nowhere to sit when we got up there, but you were so tired you didn't care.
Yeah.
The ground was absolutely perfect for us.
And we got pretty muddy too. I mean, so it wasn't like we were trying to not get dirty. We were already dirty. So I mean, I understand that wouldn't have been a big deal at all.
Yeah.
Let's talk about water. Now they told us ahead of time.
We need to start on this end and go that way.
About
the water.
Here's a
Let
disclosure.
my thing go
They
last.
said bring plenty of water, but they also said we got some coolers out there for you.
What they didn't tell you was whether it was, we've got divvied up in thirds, so you've got 25, you go about 8 targets, fill up some water, and go about another 8 more. So on the Sitka, it was number 16, 17. It was like two,
right.
Yeah.
2 before, it was 2 targets or 3 targets before we had to climb about
Mount
400
Everest.
yards up with nothing but a rope. And I've got a video of me rushing Partain, and you can tell the elevation of it. But I think on the locals course, it was at like number 14.
Yeah.
And then the prime course, I done
like
got
number
over.
20.
I done got over water by the time we got to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess what we're saying is don't expect it to be right in the middle of the course. They're gonna put it wherever. The first day we were dying for water toward the end of the Sitka course. We probably should have took some more with us. The second day we didn't think they'd even put any water out. We were getting to like target 20, and then finally there was the water.
I done got the phone out. I was dialing the number to the darn organizer of the shoot because I'm like, where's the water?
We took a good deal of water with us, and it was about to run out. We was kind of getting worried. You know, we're doing a good bit of walking here and up hills and mountains, and I'm sure in the video the mountain won't look near as bad as it really did, but I'll throw some clips in there to let y'all see. It was pretty bad.
If I'd have had a life straw, we'd have drank out of a puddle.
That's how bad it was.
Target 19, we'd have drank straight out the puddle.
I mean,
I might have done it without a life straw, and just went ahead and got Giardia or whatever we get.
Yeah, it was bad. It really, really was.
Food wise, just a couple little snacks will be fine because you're doing a lot of walking. Maybe
jerky,
some trail mix or something.
Trail mix, jerky. We took some little granola bars one day.
Trail mix granola bar.
Yeah, and then we had jerky, which was,
yeah.
I mean, it was plenty of food. You don't want to get. We were getting to the point where if we'd have, I think we were getting hot enough to where if we just sat down and ate a sandwich, we'd have had to medevac out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was.
Because we spent a good bit of time on the course. Have we mentioned that?
And we did see a fella get in the ambulance. I don't know how they got him out of there on the razor on the side by side and took him away on the ambulance. We don't know what happened. Hopefully he was all right. But I mean, it's no joke. It's a lot of hill climbing and walking.
We spent what, 6 hours?
It was 6 hours on the Sitka course and about 4.5, 5 on the prime course.
And then the local course was
2.5.
It was 2.5 hours.
It was about 2.5.
The
But
Sitka,
it was a very simple course.
The Sitka course was just a lot of mud and, probably 100, 200 yards between targets until we got to the mountain. And then it was crazy. We went up this thing, but it wasn't that big a deal. The prime course was pretty much around a big road, a lot of long shots, and then a decent sized hill at the end, but nothing that bad. Like we wasn't out on the ground hollering like we was on Sitka. We wasn't hollering, but out of breath.
It's a lot of fun though. We maybe don't take it as we're saying don't go shoot this or anything like that.
We were looking for videos kind of from other people of what should we take, what to expect. I wouldn't take anything that weighs a lot. You know what I mean? Keep your stuff down to a minimum, but take definitely a lot of water and some snacks and maybe some backup stuff.
One thing I didn't take, I wish I would have took. I saw TJ with was a rag.
Yeah.
You really need to take a rag or two. Or something just to wipe your face and stuff off when you get, because a lot of them you'll be completely out of breath.
Yeah,
you got to stop for a minute, or you're gonna lose the air. There's no way around it. I mean, because you hike, you go up 300, 400 feet in elevation, and then boom, you're at it doesn't sound far, but a 73 or 75 yard shot.
Yeah.
I mean, with your heart beating like that.
Yeah, like 130.
And breathing.
You're like,
yeah.
God.
You're instantly.
What do y'all think our average on the Sitka course? Our average shot was probably, if you just had to say roundabout, they were probably 55, 60 yards.
I was thinking 60.
I was going to say 60,
I was gonna say 50.
But on prime now we had a 118 yard buffalo, but that was the only thing. And there was a moose, or wasn't it a moose?
A moose at
100.
I think the average shot on the prime course would have been in 70.
Yeah, they actually stretched the prime course out a little bit more than they did the Sitka.
We freaked out a little bit and was practicing at 100 before we left, thinking we might have 15 shots at 90 or 100. It wasn't that way. Mm-hmm. So, 60 to 80.
But it did pay off for me though, because I shot about 1 inch outside of the 10 ring on that darn buffalo at 118 yards.
There's no need to brag.
It was my best
Nobody
shot.
likes a bragger.
It paid off.
But anyway, so that's sort of the breakdown of what happened. We had a lot of fun, and I know it travels all over. It goes out west, it goes to Vermont, and it goes to Pennsylvania and Texas and all over. So definitely go check it out. They said they were expecting to have about 1,200 people at ours. I don't really know what the number was. Partain took his camper. There wasn't that many people in the campground, so that was actually good, but I expected a few more people. They had a village set up with some vendors. It was cool. They had some food. What else they have?
Mountain after party Saturday with Andy Griggs.
Had an after party. Mountain Ops was there. Prime Bows was there. Hoyt was there.
Yeti was there.
Yeti.
Seiko was there.
Seiko,
was it Jacked?
Jacked.
They do the
does the bow slings. They were there. Badass archery.
I'd probably recommend a bow sling for going up those hills. And I'm sure each event's different, but just to get that bow on your shoulder for a minute to climb was a good thing.
And one more thing, we need to talk about what clothes and what shoes. I think absolutely.
I think a good quality pair of socks and hiking boots is very, very important.
No Nike Fly Knits.
No.
Our man
Dude,
Sea
I wore
Otter.
hiking boots.
Our man Sea Otter went to the Walmart before we left and bought him a brand new pair of something.
Skechers
Still had the tags on them,
and blue jeans.
and they were in 2-wheel drive.
Oh, they were.
It was bad for Sea Otter.
Yeah.
They look bad. So I would not advise no tennis shoes.
I was comfortable in shorts.
That'd have been a great
Shorts.
commercial for Gold Bond.
It would have been.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, shorts, t-shirt, good socks, and hiking boots.
Yeah.
Don't go too heavy on the boots. It is a lot of walking, so you want a lighter weight boot.
But be prepared for some mud.
Yep.
I would have not liked if I'd have had a shorter boot on because my feet would have been muddy and messy.
I was tippy-toeing
Yeah, I know.
a bunch.
Because you're going to pick up the weight of that mud as well.
Yeah. That's what happened to me. By the time we got to that mountain on the Sitka, I probably felt like 10, 20 pounds of mud on my boots, and it just, you get a little tired right there, and you can lose your footing real quick. So
I did on the local course.
You need lightweight shoes too, so you can climb a tree and get people's airs.
Yeah. We had a lot of shots across the valleys. Kyle had to go up and retrieve some arrows about 20 foot in the tree. We'll show you that clip. But they also gave us an emergency number. If something real bad did happen, you can call this number and they will try their best to get in there and get you out or get you some help or do something. And they had a side-by-side that came through, but of course it wasn't going up that mountain because it was straight climbing. So I guess they could have come around the back way or something. I don't know what they'd have done there.
Oh, yeah, he had an access road.
yeah. Something else to throw. I took a Tenzing 1500 day pack is all I took, and I took a hip quiver. Also had an air tube with my airs in. With the pack, I had a hydration bladder, just a small first aid kit with basic stuff in there. Because you're out. You're in the middle of the woods shooting targets, and if something happened, just something that you can contain a small accident with until help could get there or whatever. But after that first day, I minimized what I took in. I didn't take my air tube. I just stuck a dozen airs in my field quiver, or my hip quiver. And,
What do you think about it? Would you take the hip quiver again?
it was nice to have my rangefinder right there. I didn't have to dig in my bag for it. Didn't have to put it in my pocket. The biggest thing with that would be is the hiking. I noticed when we had to go up the mountain on the Sitka with the rope, my airs wanted to get in the way, and it just, in all honesty, you could probably get by with just a hip quiver and a hydration bladder pack from Walmart. But when we go back, I'm definitely going to take my cottonwood spider shot seat. The pack was nice, but it did get heavy, and
We shot the whole prime course with the backpacks on.
And then another thing we took but didn't carry with us, or at least we did, if it would have rained, it would have made it a mess, you know what I mean? So we took us a rain suit, but I knew it was no chance of rain, so I didn't carry it on the course with me, but it would complicate things a little bit if you shot in the rain, but it would also be kind of cool, because it'd be real deal condition.
I was going to welcome that about target 19.
It would have cooled us down.
But that is something to keep, just pay attention to the weather wherever you're shooting at. And if they're calling for rain, I had a blame Fraybill rain suit that I use fishing bass tournaments with. I took it, but I never took it on the course. I, paid attention to the weather, but a simple little frog tog suit would be perfect, lightweight, and ideal. Just keep it in your pack, just in case, if they're calling for any kind of weather.
I had an extra t-shirt and underwear what I took in my
Our favorite shot, without asking everybody, was probably they had a waterfall with a freaking, a white goat down there.
Yep.
The shots are a lot of angles. We were shooting, super duper downhill. It wasn't but like 30-something yards.
Yeah.
But we
31.
shot right down to the waterfall. It was cool. I'll put a clip of it on here.
Oh, the temperature drop was just unbelievable.
20 or 30 degrees down at the waterfall.
And what you really notice is when you're getting ready to come out of there. Me and Kyle went down there. Jeremy did too, set the camera up. But when you come out of that hole, the heat
Just smacks you right
just
in the
hit
face.
you right in the face. It's like, oh my God, you didn't realize how nice it was down there at that
Be
waterfall.
ready for a lot of angles. We shot uphill, downhill a lot.
Extreme angle.
We shot a lot through
It would make
this.
you,
through the trees. We shot a bunch through that
and a
by
lot of
vine.
times it would have like a rock in the way, and you're not thinking about your arrow arcing over the top of it. So you want to aim high, and you shoot over it. You know what I mean? So it'd be at 60 yards. The arrow's probably 10 inches above the rock. You don't want to aim it where you need to aim. So I guess is what I'm saying.
That happened to me. I was a victim of that.
Me too.
I shot right over the back of a little pig. No, it was a bear.
It was a
Bear.
bear.
I
It was a
12'd
bear,
that. I think I
and-
12'd that bear.
He did. He 12'd it, but I couldn't make myself put my pin on that rock.
Is there one thing y'all didn't have that you think we should have brought?
The rag, like you said, that rag. That
The
was one thing I
the
wished
first
I had.
day, I would have liked to have another bottle of water. But other than that,
I think I would have brought maybe blister pads for your feet. If you don't hike a lot and you go out there and do 8 miles all at one time, I don't care what shoes you're wearing or what socks you got on, you're probably going to end up with a blister. I would definitely throw like a blister pad, something in there just to protect your feet, just so you got it with you.
Yeah.
What about you?
No, it was pretty good.
Jack
Salt and
Daniels.
water. Yeah, Jack Daniels. No, it was
But
pretty
we
good.
we had a heck of a time. And like I say, nobody had a video like this out there, so we thought we'd throw it together. And I got other videos of the actual shots we're putting together as well. So definitely go have a good time. Take some buddies with you. You know, take your phone so you can throw some film together, some photos and videos together. But we had a good time. Hopefully, we can go back next year. They talking about moving them around a little bit, so that'd be great.
I went
shot
and
well.
lost his
One more
sunglasses.
thing is, once you shoot your scheduled time, after that, you're free to shoot
You
whatever.
can go shoot whatever.
Yeah.
So if you shoot Sitka at 9 and you're done at 2, you can go jump on the mountain ops or locals, or take a breather and then go for it. So that's pretty cool. for them
Make
to
sure
do
you got to
that.
ride back from the locals course.
I
Yeah,
do
they-
recommend camping in a camper tent and being on site.
Yeah, that was really nice. Being right there.
I don't recommend, like, from there you had to drive, y'all have a 45-minute drive to the closest hotel in
Yeah.
Lynchburg, and after walking all that, then having to drive, and then turn around next morning, pack all your stuff up Sunday since you got to check out, and then get up there at 8:30, 9:30. It was nice that we could just get done. We grilled out some burgers, hung out by the camper.
Grilled some
recommend
tenderloin.
that.
Me and TJ didn't shoot the locals course, but I probably would have had
If
we
y'all
been.
would've stayed there.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was just tired. You know what I mean? I needed
Yeah.
like a 2 hour or an hour and a half or something to just sit down and get in some air conditioner and whatever. But yeah, that would have been cool to camp. But anyway, we appreciate y'all watching this. We hope we helped. Look for our other videos. I got videos of both courses, Sitka and Prime. I'll be putting them together soon. And they got a couple more shoots this year, so definitely go check them out. It was like a 6 hour ride for us.
Yeah. If you're sitting there on the edge, whether or not you want to go or not,
Definitely
Go.
go shoot.
Go.
it.
Yeah.
Go shoot. I'm telling you, if I make it through there, anybody can.
If
It's
Sea Otter can make it through there with a Marlboro hanging out on man's mouth like that,
He did it.
you can make it.
He did it. He
shoot
made
it. It's
You'll
well
be glad
worth
you did it.
It's worth the
an
money. It's worth the
accomplishment.
drive.
Yeah.
It's worth it. Do it.
They give you a shirt. Is that the shirt they gave you?
No, this
No.
is one of the ones I
Okay.
bought that was on sale.
They give you a shirt with
For
the
medium.
thing. I think it was around $100 for 2 days for us to shoot.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well worth it.
oh yeah. But we appreciate y'all watching, and hey, give us a subscribe, give us a like, and we'll see y'all soon.